Luciani, in some way, was considering for weeks how to get Sebastiano Baggio out of the Vatican, get him someplace that he could accept, but where he would still be surrounded and couldn't do anything effective. And that was the Venice solution. And yet, what then happened?
All right, just back up for a second, Bob. Look at this. You understand diplomacy, and you understand Vatican diplomacy, and you understand also that the oldest school of diplomacy in the world is the Vatican School of Diplomacy. All right?
Right.
They've perfected diplomacy like you can't believe. They don't throw someone out. They don't throw a diplomat out. You promote. You promote to remove. You
Right.
give a man a promotion, all right? And he's out of his office, right? This is what this is what we were talking about with Bugnini, with the liturgy. What did they do when they found out that he was a Freemason and everything else, and all the chaos that was reigning because of him?
They promoted him.
They promoted him as nuncio to Iran. Good. There he is, way over there. Okay?
Yeah.
The same thing with Baggio. So the Pope invited him up to talk, finally to get him, and you can believe me that the Pope had to get up his own nerve to do this, because I'm telling you, he was just not a strong man in that sense. Strong in the faith, but he was, go along, get along, that kind of thing. Baggio arrived, and we have a discrepancy, not a discrepancy, but we have a problem, don't we?
Yeah.
And you want to mention what that problem is, or should I mention this first? All right. Baggio arrives at 8 o'clock approximately.
Yeah.
At the Pope's private study in the Apostolic Palace.
Yeah.
He goes in. The Pope talks to him. What they said exactly, nobody knows, because only the two of them were there. However, the two of them were there, and they had this talk. Baggio raised his voice, and when I say he raised his voice, I talk about shouting. And there were Swiss guards who were standing right outside of the door who verified that shouting. Evidently, again, I wasn't there, but evidently the Pope proposed that he leave the Vatican and he go to Venice. Baggio refused.
Mm-hmm.
He left in anger. He left slamming a door behind him after the meeting had finished. The Pope had a very bad heart. You don't do that kind of a thing to somebody with a bad heart.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure no Pope and no president is really comfortable with being yelled at.
Mm.
Right? And if you're the Pope of Rome, you're not yelled at by a cardinal. You're not yelled at by a churchman.
Mm-hmm.
This doesn't happen. And when it does happen, it's dramatic. Well, this poor man suffered a heart attack 2 or 3 hours later and died.
Thank you for joining us today on our live stream video, or you may be watching the recording. If you would like to join us live, be sure to subscribe and to click the bell so you'll be notified when we go live. We don't have a set schedule, so we may pop up one evening at 8 o'clock or a morning at 11. Thank you again. And if you would like to submit a question, the best way to do that would be to go to InsideTheVatican.com. 30 Years, The Untold Stories. And there on that page, you will find a button to click where you can submit your question. We plan to do several live streams of just Q&A, so hopefully you can join us live for that as well. Have a great day.